On this episode of Game Shack, I take a look at the new pricing schemes from Arcade1up and wonder what effect that is going to have both for them and for the industry as a whole. Coming up next. Hey everybody, it's JDV here for EvilGeniusEntertainment.com. Thank you for stopping by the Game Shack, the world's smallest arcade. Well, like a lot of people, when I heard that Arcade1up was finally going to release a Wi-Fi version of their Street Fighter game, including a new 5/6-inch riser on it and a brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game back in time, I was very interested in both of these games, particularly the Street Fighter game. I'm a huge fan of that game, and I do want to have a standalone cabinet for it. Now, I knew these games weren't going to be $350 or $400 the way that the legacy games are, but I was still taken aback when I saw that they were each going for $650. Now, you can get the Street Fighter game for $600 from a place like GameStop. It won't come with the stool. If you order it from Arcade1up Direct, it will come with the stool. At $650, you don't get any stool with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, at least as far as I could tell. At $650, that is a price tag that is more than the ALU from AtGames, which goes for $6 right now at Walmart. At least I think it'll go for $6 when it comes back in the stock. And right around what the iArcade costs, if you can get it on sale. I think that unit normally retails for $7. So ballpark in that. But both of those systems feature hundreds of games and are built to be continually upgraded where they could add more games. AtGames has CoinOps X, of course, and iArcade has that brilliant a la carte gaming system. Both of them have peripherals, or will soon have peripherals available for them, and are essentially marketed somewhat like the old Atari 2600 and NES game systems were, which was sort of a entertainment package for the entire family. When you contrast that to these new Arcade1up games, there are less than 12 games on each of them, and they really are designed to be standalone. Even though they do have Wi-Fi, it seems very unlikely that Arcade1up will add any games to them. They've only done that once or twice in the past, particularly for the Outrun game, which added Rad Rally. I bought that Space Invaders game about 7 months ago for $200 with shipping from QVC. So when I see games now that are going for $650 that really aren't all that much different than that, at least in terms of the technical capacity and the size, I start to wonder a little bit about the damage that is going to do to the hobby. And what do I mean by that? Well, certainly it is going to turn off a casual buyer and or someone looking to jump into this hobby. That's just a lot of dough. I mean, how do you justify that this upcoming Christmas spending $650 on just one cab, especially when you can buy other cabs that have 350 games on it for $50 less? It does start to change the equation there for a new buyer, but it also, in my opinion, changes the equation for legacy buyers. I'm going to call people who already are heavily invested in these home arcade units, and I'm guessing that is going to be most of the people who look at this video. If you already have an established home arcade with 4 to 5 machines, you're going to be tempted to buy this new Street Fighter game if you're a fan of that, or the Turtle game, but that $650 price tag means that you're probably going to have to sell off 1 or even 2 of your machines to get this machine in there. Now, if you are a Street Fighter fanatic and you already have a game and you think you can probably sell it for 4, then it's not such a bad deal. But if you're just looking to add some spice, a different shape, say, to your arcade, because obviously so many of these Arcade1up games are similarly designed, then boy, is that an awful huge premium for what is about $5 tops in new MDF board. You're still getting the same controllers, same 17-inch screen size on these games. It really does kind of feel a little bit like a money grab. But it also feels like Arcade1up is saying to the people, the legacy owners of their games, that they aren't so concerned about this as a hobby. They're not concerned about people building out their arcades and doing it that route. I think very clearly, if they're going to start offering up where their kind of baseline games are starting off at $600 or $650, I think then that they are saying we are not really so interested in catering to the people who are into this as a hobby. More, we're trying to look at people who are either fanatics for those particular games or people who just kind of want a one-off experience. Say maybe like a dentist who wants to have a machine in the lobby, something like that. Now, to be fair to Arcade1up, they do have the biggest lineup selection of any of the companies. And I'm not just talking about the 3/4 scale games. Obviously, they have the wallcades, they have the partycades, they even have a projectorcade. So they have the giant joystick, right? So there's lots of different ways that you can get into some retro arcading from Arcade1up that won't cost you $600 or $650. Yet these are the new state-of-the-art games. These are the games that, you know, presumably people want the most. And as we see other games being offered from them, like the Simpsons game, if it ever comes out, or Killer Instinct, or Dragon's Lair, are we going to be seeing similar pricing? And I think that we are. I think that we're going to be seeing $600 as the new base price for almost all of these style cabs, even ones that maybe don't have that additional 5-inch riser. Time will tell, but it would really be a shame if Arcade1up prices themselves out of this hobby, which I think is a real possibility. Of course, on the other hand, it would mean that maybe another company could jump into it, or the established players like iArcade and AtGames could maybe fill the void somehow for people wanting to jump in to a branded cabinet that can't afford it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Am I overreacting? Is this just, no, it's just they have some really expensive games and they have some cheaper games? Or yes, this is a potentially something where the biggest company in the market is now maybe turning their back on the hobbyist in this new market segment. Let me know what you guys think down below. I really am curious to know. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up on the way out. It really does help me. Love each other. And until next time, I will see you guys in the Game Shack. Mwah! Please check out our narrative stuff on the channel, including our series Reanimated. It's a zombie series with a heart in the right place. We have 4 episodes up right now, and we're getting ready to shoot episode 5 in a couple of weeks. So if you're watching this sometime in July of 2021 and you want to be a zombie, let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to have our casting director get a hold of you.
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.